my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and for those who are not new, welcome back. It's great to see you again. I am doing a extra video this week because my library haul did not come in time for A Court of Mist and Fury, and as we are doing the read along, I wanted to give my thoughts as I read this book. I am new to the ACOTAR world. I am not a fantasy reader, but I decided to give this one a shot after everyone was talking to me, and I really did enjoy A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I really love Feyre as a character. She's fantastic, and I'm intrigued by Tamlin and by Lucien, and I do not like Rhys at this point. And I'm only going to be reading A Court of Mist and Fury in this vlog, simply because I do not have the next book in the ACOTAR series. I have to wait until March 1st when my 5 new credits come on Hoopla, and I wanted to get this out before the live show in February because we're reading ACOTAR and A Court of Mist and Fury. We are not reading the other 2 or 3 until March, so I am going to do a vlog for those books next month. So you're getting an extra video this week from me, so surprise. Anyway, so this is where I'm at. A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's a 4.5 stars. I was bored a little bit. Again, I am not a fantasy reader, and that's okay, but I'm willing to try anything at least once. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I will update you as soon as I have something to update. Hey everybody, my first update. So I am reading, or actually I'm listening to A Court of Mist and Fury. It's Saturday, and I am getting ready to go get some stuff done. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about A Court of Mist and Fury right now, simply because I do not like Rhys, and Tamlin's being very overprotective over her, which honestly, her neck was broken in front of him, so I get why he is the way he is. But I think I'm about 10% away into it, afraid of what's gonna happen, because now I'm at the point where Tamlin and Feyre were about to be married, but Rhys came in and basically took her, and he's like, you're welcome, because she didn't want to marry Tamlin, because she's really broken. Anyway, like I said, I don't know what I'm thinking of this book at this moment, and I did love Tamlin, and I did love Tamlin in ACOTAR, but I do not know if I'm gonna enjoy this as much, because she's making Tamlin mean. So let's just see how I feel about the rest of this series. I am getting ready to do some errands for the week. I have to go pick up dog food. This is a shorter week that's coming up this week, and then next week's my birthday. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. So let's see how far I can get through A Court of Mist and Fury. All right, so that is my update, and we will see what is going to happen and whether I like it or not. Bye. So I wanted to do a quick update of this vlog. I am 30% into A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm mad at Sarah J. Maas. If you remember when I was talking about ACOTAR, I really did like Tamlin in the beginning. I got why he needed to stay quiet during the trials underneath, pretty much to protect her, because that lady was crazy. I mean, she was certifiably very homicidal, obviously. Anyway, so I felt like he was protecting her, and I was like, oh, okay. But now Tamlin's gotten abusive. He's not communicating with Feyre. She's not communicating with him. He's abusive to her. Specifically when he blew everything up after she said she may not want to marry him. And now Rhys, who was supposedly the bad guy, is now being the good guy. And I'm like, I hate bait and switch. That's what I feel like just happened. So I'm pretty upset with her. And if you follow me on Instagram and on Goodreads, you know how I'm feeling because, oh, and I did let my friend Christi and my friend Brenna know. I'm like, I'm mad because I don't like being bait switched. If Reese was supposed to be the end game, she shouldn't have done what she did with Tamlin in the first one. I feel like Reese could have been a bad guy. Tamlin could have been a bad guy and had some sympathetic character traits. But I didn't feel like she did that in ACOTAR. And now we're getting, it's like they switched roles. Where now how Tamlin was in ACOTAR is now Reese in Court of Mist and Fury. So I'm annoyed. I'm still really enjoying the world. Sarah J. Maas made a more richer world. She extended the world into such a creative way that I really am enjoying it. Do I like this better than ACOTAR? So far, yes. I was a little bored in the very beginning, but mainly because I was a bit of in a book slump from a story I had read that I absolutely loved. It was one of my favorite reads of the year, and so I was having trouble switching from one world to another. So I needed time. So what I did, instead of continuing to listen or to read today, what I ended up doing was just taking a break. I'm annoyed, but I am enjoying the story, and I think it's probably will be better than ACOTAR. I was told that it will get a lot better, specifically after this book. So this is my update. Oh, before I let go, her being all-powerful is awesome. That her and Reese have this psychic bond is awesome. I feel like there's more to what is going on than what we're being told at the moment. I feel like we're barely scratching the surface. So anyway, that's what I think. And I still like Feyre, and I'm still mad at Sarah J. Maas for the bait and switch because I really wanted to love Tamlin, and now he's just being pretty much a villain at this point. All right, I will talk to you when I have more. Bye. Hey everyone, it's Monday afternoon, and it is President's Day in the United States, so we did not have school today, but teachers were supposed to go in and work, so I only worked for a little bit this morning. I put in my time this morning, and now I am sitting here in a line to go to the pharmacy to pick up my mom's prescriptions for her, because she can't go do it herself. And if you know anything about prescription lines right now, they are completely brutal. Anyway, so I'm about 75% of the way through A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm still really annoyed with Sarah J. Maas. At this point, Tamlin's pretty much out of the picture. She's with Reese and his friends Caspian, and they're looking for parts of this book, and her powers are really starting to develop. She's growing under Reese's tutelage, and Caspian's teaching her how to fight. Anyway, Feyre and Reese have grown a lot closer, and what Reese went through in book one, and even before book one started, was so horrendous, and it makes him very sympathetic. And I'm still really mad at Sarah J. Maas for doing bait and switch. I'm not gonna lie, that still kind of grinds me. Tamlin, I don't think he completely loved her in the first one, so everything that happened in book one has basically been turned on its head, and now we're seeing it in a different light in book two, and it's good. I'm really enjoying this, but again, I just don't like being bait switched, and that's where my thing is with this. So that's why I'm having a bit of an issue with it. Other than that, I actually like the storyline so much better than book one. Obviously you can't get to A Court of Mist and Fury without going through a court of thorns and roses. Feyre has really, really grown as a character since Reese. Reese, again, has been a lot of stuff that he's doing, he's more sympathetic, he's kinder to Feyre, and her sister Nesta is still a real brat. No, we're not. Okay. The person in front of me is inching their way in, trying to get up into the next part of the line. Okay, yeah, we are moving now. Anyway, so yeah, I am enjoying it. My thing is, and here's my thing, is I have never been the biggest fan of fantasy. I am more of a paranormal type of a person. Like, give me werewolves and vampires any day of the week. The Fae, the story has to be fantastic. The story has to be there. The romance has to be there. The characterizations, the plotting, the pacing, even the details have to be perfect for me to really enjoy a fantasy book. Like, that's just it for me. I've never been the biggest fantasy fan. And there's only been a few that I've really, really, truly enjoyed that would be considered fantasy. And that would be, I really enjoyed Gina Maxwell's, I think it's called The Dark King. I'll put a picture of it up here so you know what I'm talking about. And Holly Black's The Folk of the Air series. I think those two, let me turn off so you're not getting all the humming. Those two are two that I really truly enjoyed. But again, I am not a fantasy reader. I've never really been a fantasy reader. I guess the closest fantasy I've ever gotten to was the Immortals After Dark series, and that's more paranormal. So that being said, how am I feeling about this series so far? I'm actually really, really enjoying it. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about... I know how I feel about Feyre, and I know how to... she's a really, really good character. I'm enjoying her story. I'm enjoying her process of learning and going through her hero's journey. What I am unsure about is where this is going to lead to and whether I'm going to enjoy it, because it has to maintain, for me to really enjoy a fantasy, the world has to stay maintained. The characters have to continue to grow and develop. Even if the hero is an anti-hero, oh yeah, I did some shopping on Novel Grounds. And if you don't know, this is Catherine Cowles. So anyway, even if, what was I saying? Oh yeah, okay, so even if the characters continue to grow, but these side characters distract from them, I'm probably not gonna like it. So at this point, I am leaning towards, for this particular book, probably a 4.5, maybe a 5-star. I'm really enjoying it. I didn't get to read a lot yesterday, but yesterday I just went through I just watched TV and hung out with my daughter. And all we did was just played around, played some video games, watched TV, and just hung out on our Sunday instead of reading or doing anything, and I love that. Anyway, it is my turn to go up, so I will give you guys an update when I have one. Bye. Hey everybody. I had this really great ending to this video, but then I realized I spent over 45 minutes ranting about how much I was very angry with Sarah J. Maas for a couple things that happened in this book. So I am going to give you some bullet points so you're not going to spend 45 minutes with me as I'm ranting and raving about how much I hate specific things. So one, the reason why I was angry at the beginning, towards the middle of this video, was when I realized she did a bait and switch. I hate bait and switch. It cheapens the experience, the romance for me, because, well, she had a romance with someone else and now she has a romance with someone else. And the first guy I actually thought was pretty sympathetic because we found out that his father was killed by someone in the night court, and then all of a sudden we find out why why Tamlin's father was killed in the night court, because he did such terrible things to Reese's family. So where he killed Reese's family, that is a spoilers, but this has been out for so long, yeah. Anyway, but Reese actually ended up becoming such a really great guy. I loved Tamlin in the beginning. He was such a good hero, and I really enjoyed his romance with Feyre. But then in the beginning of this book, he became abusive and horrible to Feyre, and then she runs away with Rhys, and so now Rhys is very sympathetic, and he has such a great relationship with Feyre. I felt like the rug was just pulled out from underneath me, and I was like, why did I spend how many pages from the first book just to get this happen to me? That makes me very mad. That does. I do not like it. It cheapens the romance and the friendships. I loved Feyre and Lucian's friendship, and I was like, why can't he help her? Like, why didn't he help her against Tamlin? I mean, grow up hair. Seriously, grow up hair. Anyway, so I loved her new friendships with the people at the Night Court with Rhys. So, but the thing is I loved Fairyland. I love Fairyland. She took a really solid foundation and really built it up into this in this book. And any type of redemption that Tamlin had by the end, of what he did when he betrayed Feyre, that to me is unforgivable. So where I was with Rhys at the end of book 1, I am now with Tamlin at the end of book 2, and vice versa. So that's why I'm angry. And the other is that it has a cliffhanger, and if anybody knows me, they know I hate cliffhangers. Man, I'd rather read a 1,000-page epilogue about what they're eating for breakfast, or what's his name's Dice's 4 sermons that you know from Pride and Prejudice. And I have read those, and they are highly boring and obnoxious. And if I say that I am going to read something like that over a cliffhanger, you know I hate cliffhangers. So that was a 3-minute and 43 or 45 seconds, because there's probably going to be some editing because I stumbled over a few words of a caption of what was over 45 minutes. So you're welcome. Okay, so I had to stop filming for a few minutes. Okay, so here's the thing. I did not talk about my rating when I was filming a few minutes ago, because I obviously had to stop filming. So I actually was sold on this book, which is really saying something, because I have DNF'd books for bait and switch and for cliffhangers. Normally I wait for every book to come out if I know there's going to be cliffhanger, because I do not want to wait. And I have to wait till March 1st because unfortunately my Hoopla only gives me 5 credits, and I just do not have any more credits until March 1st. And my Livy app is not the greatest app because there's just not a lot on there for my library. So I need to find a new library. Anyway, but despite all of that stuff, because I'm putting that aside, what Sarah J. Maas did in A Court of Mist and Fury, she took a really solid world and opened it up and made it very beautiful. I loved every minute of this being in Fae World. She took a character who was scared and had PTSD and brought her to life by the end of it. She took a character who I really hated at the end of the first book and made me really love him, and I believed him by the end of the second book. She took a character who I was invested in and I really wanted him to be the hero, and made me really hate him by the end of the book, and he's not redeemable. I was actually sympathetic to Tamlin because of what he told Feyre about how his father died. But then we find out why his father died, and I'm like, dude, I'm not going to make this in much longer, I promise. But I'm very surprised that I really enjoyed this book as much as I did, because again, I'm not a fantasy reader, and I am giving it 5 stars, and it is going to be on my top favorites because it was so good. She took things that I do not like that will make me DNF a book. Like, you do not bait and switch me. I nearly DNF'd it because of that. As soon as I realized what was going on, I almost put it down, but I decided, because I'm vlogging it, I am going to continue on, and I'm glad I did. So those are my thoughts and feelings in a very basic way, and it took me over 45 minutes just to get out all of that because I was ranting. Anyway, Court of Thorns and Roses is 4.5 stars. That was a solid book, a good beginning, Court of Mist and Fury, 5 stars, and it's going to be on my favorites list. And I will be continuing on for the next 2 books, and I will be vlogging them in March. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and ring the bell so you know when I am dropping more content. This was just sort of a surprise video because I wanted to get it in before the readathon. So if you like this book, tell me why. If you did not like this book, tell me why below. And if you don't want to comment on that, leave me a fairy emoji, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.